What's up, guys? My name is Jake, so everyone call me as a place to play the most content today. And today I am bringing you some Gotham City Imposters gameplay, and I haven't done this in a while, so I'm going to be a little stuttery. But it feels good to be doing this again, and to be playing this beast of a game on probably the best map I've personally ever played, 25th floor. It's just a map that's just perfectly crafted for high volume carnage and all that good shit. So it's yeah, as I said, it's been a while since I've actually done this. So delivery will be shaky at best. At 9 health, and he was what? Oh, he's all the way over there. But yeah, I didn't want to go into this talking about absolutely nothing, because I actually did have a topic I wanted to talk about, and it was my trip to New York City. And to me, that's something really big. I'm a small town guy myself. I live in a village. Well, they call it a village. I call it my home. So yeah, I went to New York City, and that was something in all of itself. Like, it was just fantastic. It was exactly what you would see in the movies, and I just missed probably a quad. It's exactly what you would see in the movies, and you have taxis everywhere. You have what do I call them? Just a bunch of like van-like taxis. You always see yellow in the streets. You always see a taxi, and they drive like maniacs. Let me tell you one thing. There have been more than a couple instances where I've almost seen a taxi just demolish somebody in its path, like a human being just walking across the street. And granted, in New York City, people don't walk across the street when the light turns red for them. They'll walk when the light's green, and it's stupid on their part. But I mean, hey, people gotta go where they gotta go, and I'm not doing nearly as good as I thought I'd be doing. But yeah, so it's really cool, and I really love the New York City atmosphere. Oh man, look at this guy. So yeah, that's what happened. That's what's going on right there, and I'm gonna describe my trip to New York City, and this was brutal. I mean, it took a while to get there, as expected, because it's about 6 hours away from where I live, and we originally started from Rochester, because I go to college in Rochester, and it's I go to Bryan and Stratton. It's a really nice school. It doesn't have dorms or anything, but it's a nice business school. But they also major in graphic design, which is the major I partake in, and I love it, believe me. I love art, and I love expressing myself. And hang on, let me just focus right here. This could be big. If this guy will really, haha, bitch, get out of here. Ow, anyway. That's fucking gay, so it pisses me off. So yeah, New York City. We rode on a bus. We rode on a nice coach. It was we had padded seats, and it was nice because it didn't have those bars on the side, and it didn't have seat belts. And because those coach buses, they don't have seat belts for comfort reasons, because if you're getting on a coach bus, you're usually going long distance, and that's what they're made for. So you can sprawl out and sleep. Well, I mean, it's a little comforting, but not too comfortable. But it gets the job done. I brought my blanket, brought my pillow. I was ready for some travel. So I was sprawled out for at least 6 hours going up to New York City, and I made sure I had no passenger with me, because for one, that would have been really uncomfortable. I would have been sleeping like, this is Metadongus, huh? Or Megadongus. So yeah, I would have, it would have not been comfortable for either one of us. I'll probably end up cutting this comm. Who knows? That's just too much work. I'll just show my raw progression, because I'm gonna have to get better at doing live comms like this. Oh, I didn't get him. That's cute. Oh, this guy invisible. Is he behind me? No, he's not. Alright then. Oh, that's disgusting. That was quite honestly disgusting. I feel bad for that person. Where was that? Shit. Tanix somehow. Get over there. 1. Come around the corner. We're counting them. 2. I guess not. 2. There goes my phone. It's dying. That's not a good sign. These weak arms are heavy. Ow. But anyway, going on the yeah. So we were going on for 6 hours, and we finally got there, and we entered the city. It wasn't the city. We entered the suburban area, and believe me, there was traffic backing up way back, and it was ridiculous. I mean, I didn't think we were ever going to get there. And at one time, we were even idle in the traffic. And the person who was driving the bus, I don't know, I wasn't the one driving, so I couldn't really give feedback on on how to drive a bus. But it was maniac, like it was just maniacal, however the hell you say that, or would say that. It was scary, and the way he would maneuver the bus, it would be like he's taking car routes that would never fit a bus, and somehow, some miraculous way, he just fit it right into the right lane. And it's ridiculous. And New York City driving style is your turning signals don't mean shit. You're getting into a lane that you can get through because there are a bunch of cars backed up everywhere. It's just absolutely insane. I'm about to turn level 93 to level up soon. But yeah, so it's crazy. The New York City driving is just off the wall. So as we're going up there, we find out that there's just a big traffic jam in the middle of going into the city. And my buddy, who's right in front of me, is terrified of closed spaces such as tunnels. And we went through this tunnel because we had to go through a tunnel to get to New York City. It was the one that goes underneath the water, nonetheless. And it just terrifies him. So we all knew that, and right as we go into the bridge, it catches him by surprise. I can't talk today, and he has his hood over his head and everything. And there's this woman. She's about 32 years old, because with the college I go to, or any college for that matter, it ranges from all ages, from 50 to 32 or anything. So she's trying to calm him down. He's just like not even talking, and we finally got out of the tunnel after it was probably about 5 minutes going through that tunnel, and yeah, we finally got through it. We went through it all right. We didn't idle once, so he was relieved, thank God, because I thought he was going to start tweaking, go into a mental breakdown. So then we saw the skyline, and I tell you one thing: the skyline of New York City is beautiful. It's fantastic. And it's even better at night, but I'll get to that a little later. So the skyline, obviously beautiful, and as we're going by, people are taking pictures. So it was really cool. I can't take pictures with my phone because my phone's a piece of shit, and the SD card doesn't read on it. So I'm just sitting there looking at it, and we get off at the Lincoln Memorial. That's not a memorial. It's the Lincoln Center, and it's just a giant center that it's a bus drop off, and it's a giant loop. And I'm gonna get this guy. Hopefully it's not. And let me see if I can. No, I guess not, because Megadongus is just a scumbag. But yeah, the Lincoln. We got dropped off at the Lincoln Center, and the bus driver, he is required to sleep at a hotel while this whole thing's going on, so we can get us back safely and not snooze on the ride. I'm just don't expect me to do good if I'm talking, because I can't. It's something I can't do. So and yeah, he's required to sleep, and that kind of sucks. So he can't really enjoy it. But I mean, he does bus driving for a living, and he does it in New York City. So there's probably not much enjoying going on anyway. So yeah, he's required to sleep. Yeah. I have this shotgun I'm using right now. Let's see if I can actually get. Alright, I'm getting double teamed. I see you. See you bastards. Oh, did he get in trouble? No, I thought he got in trouble. That thing was masking it. And as soon as we got there, it was instant just traffic, and you could hear like the beeping of a horn. If you didn't hear that every 1 to 5 seconds, then you knew something was wrong and it was too quiet. So the beeping of the horn was just like it screamed New York City to me. And apparently, if you beep on your horn too much, then you can get a ticket or you can get pulled over. I don't know how the hell the cops would pull you over or even get to you for that matter. But yeah, they did it somehow. And a lot of, it's funny because a lot of the cops would be on street level. They'd be walking around and actually walking up to your car if you're beeping too much and say pull over. That's like dangerous, but I mean, hey, it's the way it works, and it's the way it's gonna have to work because they can't use vehicles effectively there. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna weave through traffic going 2 miles per hour on a police chase? It just wasn't happening. So. Okay, whatever though. So yeah, and what was I gonna say? Let's totally get a brain fart. So yeah, we went to the Times Square, and that was a little later because first we went to this place called Heavenly Burgers. I'll tell you one thing, it's anything but heavenly. Those burgers tasted like absolute shit. And I'm not kidding when I say shit. For a place that has their restaurant named after burgers, I don't know. I'm not too keen on it. So I got the cheeseburger, and the cheeseburger was it's funny. It was good on the first bite, and then the rest of the burger felt stale in a way. Like it had like no jump flavor to it or anything. And I'll tell you about a burger that I had while I was there that I absolutely it killed it for me. It was great. But yeah, after we went to Heavenly Burgers, we were kind of in a group, and the group consisted of me. I'm just gonna say names. You guys are not even gonna know who the hell they are, but it consisted of me, Roxanne, Zan, and 3 other people. I forgot who they were, but we were in a group of 6, and when we got there, it was a free-for-all. We just walked around and whatever, and we just had to be back at the bus by 7 o'clock, or no, 8 o'clock I think, at night, or else they'll leave without us, which it's reasonable. So they don't have to keep keeping a tab on us. I mean, we're college kids, for Christ's sakes. We're like 30 years old and stuff. I mean, I'm 19, but there 30-year-olds there and stuff. So it was understandable. So yeah, after we went to Heavenly Burgers, we went to the Museum of Modern Art. Now that was the whole intention all along, to go to the Museum of Modern Art and look at the art and get inspiration, take pictures, even though I couldn't. So that was the whole purpose all along. So we went to the Museum of Modern Art. We had 2 tickets reserved. We had one for the actual museum itself to look around and stuff, and we had another one for kind of like an art cutout portion of the museum, which featured a lot of cutout art, all by the same guy. And this guy must have had a lot of time on his hands, which is understandable because he was a professional artiste. And I'm not one for cutout art. I mean, maybe people enjoy it more than I do, but I looked at it and I thought, well, I mean, I think I can do this. I did this stuff in 1st grade, but maybe it's just different techniques are used. I don't know, like a straight razor cutting out. I don't know, but I wasn't too interested in it. I wasn't drooling over it. But the stuff that I was drooling over was they had Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh, and I'll tell you one thing, that was the main attraction. That's what really makes the Museum of Modern Art famous, because they have Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. If you don't know what that is, it's either you're not a graphic design artist or an artist in general, because it is just crazy. You can see up close, and it's the original one. It's the original one by Vincent van Gogh. And he has a freaking shield on, for Christ's sakes, and I can't get him. Okay, whatever. But yeah, Vincent van Gogh. That's just it was crazy seeing it, because everybody was taking pictures of it, and That was just absolutely insane. And if you guys don't know about this, I want to talk about another artist here, Andy Warhol. He went by Sir Warhol because he was he was like born or married into like a family of royalty and all that good stuff. Oh, hang on. Okay, good. And he got his name Sir Warhol after that. So he actually made the Campbell's soup can logo that you see, and he had a display of like, it was like how many, 6 rows of 5. So you had you just had a bunch of Campbell soup cans out there, and it was all the original ones, obviously, because they can't put them in a museum if they're not original. And it was right there, and it was so cool because it had like cheesy noodle and stuff like that, and just like all these original designs that he himself made. And it's cool to see something that the original artist made. And alright, there we go. And let me get this guy. If I start concentrating, I'll probably just lose it. So I should just do this without any concentrating and just go at it. But yeah, it was really cool, and it's something probably that I'll enjoy more than you will, because if you're into it, and that's cool. Usually the graphic design or the GFX artists, we call them, I now have more respect for them than I ever had. I always had a lot of respect for them, but I never really knew how it worked, how Photoshop worked and all that stuff. And I'm learning that by myself right now, because in my graphic design course, right now we're just learning how to do it hand by hand and learning the sans serifs and all that other stuff. But yeah, that's a totally different topic. So yeah, New York City, we were in the Museum of Modern Art, and it was the whole museum itself was very cool. I'm so close to level 93. But yeah, it was just so cool. After that, we just parted ways, and I went on my group of 6, and we went to Madison Square Garden. We went to Times Square, and that's where I got the hoodie that I'm wearing now. You won't be able to see it because I don't have Facecam up yet. So we went to Times Square. We went to the M&M store, which was a main attraction. It was right there next to the Olive Garden, or street down. And it had all these cool stuff. It had tubs and tubs of M&Ms, and for like £1, it was like $13, something ridiculous like that. So I didn't get any of that. It was actually a Hershey's store right next to it that I went and I got the Hershey's hoodie, and I got some candy. And they actually had the world's largest Hershey bar that was actually up for purchase, and one of them was like $35. That's nuts for just that much chocolate. I mean, what was that? Lydell chocolate or Lindell truffle? Those are fucking great. Like a pound of those, I think, like a pound of the balls that you get it has caramel inside. It's so good. I don't know how much that is. It's like $13. But anyway, it was really cool. And apparently there were more stores. Like more stories, I should say, to the store than I thought, and I didn't see them. Neither of us saw them, but it was really cool nonetheless. And after that, the rest was history. We kind of went to Ruby Tuesdays, and that my buddies just drunk. They got a little drunk, and I was there, just being me. I'm 19 years old, but I can't drink, so I'm just sitting there sipping on my Coke and watching them just get. They didn't get shit-faced, but they were just a little buzzed. So I don't know if you call that drunk, but I don't know. To me, it was hilarious because the stuff we talked about, it was absolutely hilarious. When we were at Heavenly Burgers, in a little flashback, I ordered the chocolate milk and everybody else got like beer, and oh my god, did they let me have it? It was hilarious. They were picking on me so hard because I was the young one, and it was just absolutely hilarious. I felt like the young college kid that, hey, where are you? I felt like the young college kid that was just getting into college and could not drink, could not do anything, while all the other guys were just drinking and having a good time. But I was having a good time nonetheless, and it was fun. And we had a lot of cool moments. And this was funny. Not funny, but this was actually scary. Find out around nighttime, right when we were in Ruby Tuesdays, there was a ambulance outside the restaurant, and I was just thinking, oh, somebody probably got hit by a car because of crazy drivers. Turns out that somebody in the Massachusetts, or the Manhattan, I just said Massachusetts, I feel like a dumbass, in the Manhattan area, it was a doctor, had Ebola. Like, what? It was a doctor too, so you know he was working. What the hell? How did I kill myself? Anyway, you know he was working firsthand with patients from probably like I don't know if there's any more in Texas, but there's some in Buffalo. But he was working hands-on with them, so he probably contracted and stuff like that. But you know, that could have been anybody. I could have come in contact with anybody there, and it could have been the person that had Ebola. But I mean, ever since then, which probably like 3 days ago, I haven't had any fever or anything like that, any signs of Ebola. So I'm pretty sure I'm set, and I've been washing my hands a lot too. So it's a scary thought, and I'm just doing absolutely. How the hell am I top of my team and I'm doing this bad? Anyway, so yeah, it was a scary thing, and I mean it's past me now. I mean, what are the chances of me running into that one guy out of the millions that I saw that, you know, that one guy that had Ebola? I mean, it's highly unlikely. So I'm probably freaking out for nothing. But after that, we got on the bus. We got the ride home, and I got home. I got back at the school because we had to drive to the school to get onto the bus. So I drove there and all that stuff. And I got back to the school at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I drove home from Rochester to Waterloo, which is about an hour drive. So I got home at around 3:30 because I stopped for some late night dinner. And yeah, that was my trip to New York City. It was crazy in itself. Just the cool things that I saw. Madison. We didn't get to see Madison Square Garden, I don't think, but it was cool. It was just cool nonetheless. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm probably gonna cut this off and talk about something else, and hopefully just concentrate and get some cool clips in here. So yeah, that was my trip to New York City, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.